So hi, well, the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
Daniel Sherman, but good noise. You can call me anytime.
That's it. That's enough. And we're asking him some questions today about his new EP, Chronicles of a Calloused Heart, Part 2. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's been cool. I kind of had to announce it like 3 times because the release date kept changing.
Mhm.
So the first one was like, "Oh my gosh, we're so excited," and then the second one was like, "Okay," and then the third one I announced it with announcing that I was signed to a label, and that's why it took so long. So then the final announcement was like, "Oh, okay, we're hyped again."
Fucking
Yeah.
finally, yeah.
Yeah,
The record label.
yeah,
What's up with that? How'd that come about?
dude. So
Nice.
the label's called it's Hendrickson Studios, and they're not like fully public yet. They don't have their own social media. They don't have anything like that, but they've been signing artists and releasing stuff with artists for about a year now. And so Jonathan, who's the lead over there, I've actually recorded music with Jonathan since I was still in Crown and Chains. We recorded King Suffering Part 2 and Carry Me with Jonathan. And so he's kind of seen me work. I recorded my Lonely Live show with him a year ago and did all the drum tracking for Uncaged with him. And we kind of reconnected back in probably like January, I think, February. And he was like, "Dude, like, I'm kind of doing this thing. I'm signing people, and you're exactly the type of person I'm looking for. Like, would you be down?" So it's been, we're just getting started. We're still figuring out, what it's like and all that, but it's been good. It's been really cool.
Oh yeah, that's super exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, happy to hear that. So is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Yeah. The title Chronicles of a Calloused Heart, can I just say that it's like kind of a banging title. I'm really happy
It
with that
is.
title,
It is
guys.
a banging
It's pretty
title,
banging.
When
yeah.
it came to me, I was like, that's it. It's not going to get better than that.
EP.
So a chronicle is chronicles are individual stories with their own like storyline. Like when you read the chronicles of something, they're not necessarily related, they're not necessarily chronological, but they usually have the same theme or the same event at the center of them, and they kind of branch out. So each of the 4 songs is related by like my attitude at the time I wrote them, or like just the experience I was going through at the time I wrote them, but they're kind of like 4 different ways that experience impacted me. And then the whole calloused heart is like that mentality I was in, where I kind of just closed off to everyone and everything. I was like just going through some really, really hard stuff, and I pushed friends away. I pushed everything away and just kind of sat in it for a long time. So that's kind of what the EP is about.
All right. And the cover art, any meaning behind that?
I just thought it looked cool.
Fair enough.
Cool.
Fair enough.
Sometimes it's just the way it's got to be,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for this EP?
Yeah, I wrote this EP like 3 months before we recorded it, if I'm remembering right. And I hadn't like written lyrically a song since before Uncaged, which was months prior.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of I knew that if I was gonna write lyrics, that I would have to write about this thing that was hanging over me. Like I kind of like just the way I write. I knew that if my pen was going to hit paper, that this really hurtful experience was going to come out of it. And I was like, I'm not trying to mess with that. So I just won't write music. I'll do other stuff. I'll produce. I'll, whatever. I'm not writing anything. And then it kind of I remember one night I was alone in my apartment. My roommate was gone like all day. I was watching Atlanta for like the 3rd time. And I was like, dude, I need to write about it. It's time. Like I'm stuck. I need to write about it. And all 4 songs were done within like an hour.
Jeez.
It just exploded out of me. So yeah, it was one of those things. It was like just an emotion bomb that hit. So
that's nuts.
Wow.
Definitely the EP is definitely a genre switch. It's not what we typically come to expect of you. So
I have to know before you even continue, did you like it or did you hate it? Honest thoughts.
We were talking about this earlier. You can start, Glory.
Okay, so I started. I'm gonna be completely honest. When you said you were releasing a folk album, I was like, "Oh no, Shane, folk," because
Yeah,
like
cool.
that's the one genre that we do not cover. So I was nervous. But then when you sent the EP over, I listened to it today, and I was like, this is good.
Mhm.
This is good.
Yes.
I personally think it's like one of your best things that you've actually released. It's one of my favorites.
Let's
now.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I agree with Glory, like in the term that like I think you're like putting the wrong genre on it. Granted,
Yes.
genres
Yeah,
are
I
like
agree.
subjective or whatever, but it's not
Mhm.
folk in the slightest. Like when, because
There's no banjo.
Yeah, yeah. Before Glory had even listened to it, she was like, "What?" Because like I had scheduled the interview, and she was like, "What is it?" She's like, "Is it folk?" I'm like, it sounds like the acoustic songs that we covered every week over the course of the pandemic, where a band would like
Mhm.
pick up the acoustic guitar and like record an acoustic version of one of those songs. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
like
super stripped back. That's what it is.
that once the production was done on it, I switched from calling it folk to folk inspired.
hmm
Mhm.
Just because like how I heard it in my head before all the instruments were laid down was very different than it kind of turned out. And so really the only folk inspiration is like if you strip it to like the rhythm of the drums or you strip it to the storytelling of the lyrics,
Mhm.
like that's folk inspired, but it really turned into more of just a singer-songwriter EP for sure along the
Definitely.
way.
Yeah. Eddie.
Yeah.
So yeah, on that note, I also did enjoy it. So
go.
we didn't hate it. That's good.
That's
No.
good.
But
Not
like,
at all.
as I said, genre switch for you. So kind of like, what was the thought process behind that? Is that just kind of what you thought would fit with the lyrics that you had written, or?
I've had a little note in my notes app saying to do this type of record for like since before Uncaged, like for a long time.
Mhm.
And when like I started writing the lyrics and stuff, it was just really clear that the type of ache behind the lyrics, there's like just this, I mean, callous is really the only word I can think of for it, but you know what I mean? It's got this like heartbreak behind it that folk lyricism, like the way that it tells a story, really fit. And so yeah, I kind of just as soon as the lyrics hit, it was something I'd wanted to do for a long time. I got a little practice at it on Uncaged with the song My Anchor, like barely.
Mhm.
And it was just really clear that this was the type of record I needed to make. So
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
And like, not going in this direction like further, right? Are we
They're
gonna,
all- so-
are we working on? I don't
You
mean
sound
that,
worried,
I don't
Shane.
mean that like mean. I just like I didn't really know how to phrase the question. That's my bad. But like, are you
Oh, you're
working on
good.
things that kind of I can't put a genre on what you typically do. Like, are you working on things that like you've been doing?
My AirPods just died.
Oh, did I? I
Oh.
was like, did I blow your AirPods out in excitement?
Come on, Shane.
So you'll notice that it says part 2
Mhm.
Mhm.
and there's no part 1.
Mhm.
So there will be a part 1 next year.
Okay.
That's another 4 songs, but that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
So like there is other stuff because I know you're always working on shit. There's always stuff. There's like stuff on the back burner that's like the typical shit that you've been doing.
There are 2, possibly 3 more music projects coming out before the end of the year.
Oh my god.
We're gonna be talking to you a fucking lot, huh? In the next
Dude.
6 months. Jesus.
Take a nap, please.
All 3 of them are completely different genres from each other and from this. So
You are nuts. And I
yeah.
may be off the record because I don't know if you want to spoil all that, but you're gonna have to tell us what the fuck you're cooking up over there.
I'll let you know
Yeah.
after the interview. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this EP and the meaning behind it.
Oh, dude. I don't know why this question surprises me because you ask me every single time, but every time I'm
Like, man, that's a good question.
fuck.
I think I'm gonna go with a super simple lyric, which is just the last line on the album is "I don't know."
Fair enough.
And this whole album is kind of about like, it's like you've gone through this thing and you sat with it, and it's like I literally captured the moment I decided I'm gonna try to get past it. Not I'm getting past it or I'm past it, but
Mhm.
I'm gonna start to try. And that like last I don't know is equal parts depressing and equal parts hopeful. And like it could be I go through this super grueling process the whole way, and at the end of it I'm even more broken than I was at first. Or I could go through this and like totally get past it and be the person I want to be right now. But it kind of sits in that tension of this could go either way. I don't really know what moving forward looks like,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna try. And that's just like real, you know, that's like just the reality of it. So
Hell
Yeah.
that one.
All
That's
right.
good.
So where was your headspace at while you were writing the CP?
I kind of like approached it like confession.
Mhm.
Like here's just like the first song I wrote for it was I Was Wrong, which is literally like, that's kind of literally what a confession is. And I was just like, acceptance is the first part of like, what is it, grieving or whatever. Like you have to just accept that it's real. And I had to like go into this and just accept that what I was dealing with, I had partially caused it. And kind of that, I guess the word's humility of approaching the struggle of like, I can't just go around and blame people. I have to wrestle with the fact that for one, I caused it. And two, I'm the one who sat with it this long. And I kind of had to just like along the way, confess really openly and bluntly what I was feeling because of myself, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to put to words. It's a really kind of niche emotional state. But
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes any sense. It was my fault. And here's just step by step what I'm trying, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends, dark with headphones on? What do you personally recommend?
I think I've said this in the past too. All of my music is like great solo night walk music. Like put in your earbuds, walk alone at night. This one's nice. It's like the shortest thing I've ever released. One little lap around the block, maybe two, and call it good, right? But
Yeah.
I think definitely in order, even though there's not like a chronological order to it, there is kind of a development of a theme.
Okay.
So definitely in order. But I think I don't imagine, and I kind of curious what you both think too, but it doesn't seem like a car ride with friends EP to me.
Yeah, no.
No, it seems more of like it does seem like a car EP, but more of kind of like a night drive, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives me the vibes of just like, it doesn't matter exactly how you listen to it, but just kind of like, you got to be alone, take it in on a good set of headphones or speakers or whatever, and like no outside distractions kind of thing.
True.
Yeah. So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe the CP for new listeners in 3 words, no more, no less.
Therapy. Lamentful.
It's a big word.
I just try to get my syllable count, you know. He said like how many syllables can I what's the third one, guys? I don't even know. Hopeful.
Okay.
There you
I
go.
always want hopeful, like barely. Like barely hopeful. It's kind of like that would be my motto. So like hopeful.
Okay. All right.
Can we get a definition for the second one? I personally, I've
Lamentful?
never heard. Yeah.
So like a lament is like a song that expresses deep sadness.
Okay.
Oh.
So
Thank you.
Okay.
like, oh,
that's
a
good.
bummer.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's like, guys, my whole brand is being sad. It's okay. We can just.
I mean, I wasn't expecting some big extravagant meaning. I just was like, that's a big fucking word.
It's a big word. I thought you knew it because you didn't ask. I was like, fine, I'll be the one to ask.
No, I just
Right.
like to act like I know all of the words that people say at us, but like at the time, I'm like, I don't fucking know.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've definitely written songs with words I don't actually know what they mean in them sometimes, and I'm just like,
And you're just like this, like hoping it doesn't mean something
I'm
bad.
gonna like look it up on dictionary.com and be like diving into the lore, like, okay, this must have this implication. I'm like, I don't know what it means.
Wow,
Didn't even think about it.
You're like, I thought it sounded cool.
Exactly. Oh my God. So, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want your listeners to have while going through this EP?
I would love for this EP to meet like a very specific group of people. Anyone who's like in that place of closed offness, or like they have something they're going through that they haven't told anyone about, or that they're just really in the heat of and they haven't processed or they haven't moved on from.
Mhm.
I want it to give them the hope to try and get past it, but also kind of set a realistic look of what that struggle looks like, because it is work. It's hard. It's not. It's definitely not fun.
Mm-mm.
But it's also so important, and it's a fight, and it's an honorable fight. And so I hope this record kind of captures that for different people.
I like that.
Aw,
That's good.
That's good.
So what is your favorite memory that you made while creating this EP?
Ooh. You know, I had a lot of fun. So I actually brought in Jacob Wall, who was the co-vocalist and keyboard player, guitar player for Crown and Chains.
Cool.
He tracked the guitar for me because I don't play guitar, and he tracked the piano for me because he's better at piano than me. And so I kind of like I played him on ukulele, like this is what I'm going for, but like make it not suck ukulele, and kind of played him my really bad piano and was like do something like this, but obviously like good.
Yeah.
And then he helped me come up with some of the harmonies that are in the background and stuff like that too. And so we didn't have time in studio to record all the vocals. I pretty much got like the main vocal for each song. And then it was like, shoot, we've been here for hours. Like we got to go. So we just grabbed like an SM7 mic and met up at his house. And all those background harmonies were recorded just in his office. We were like sharing a bottle of whiskey and just like getting these takes over and over. And like he lived at that time in like a house that has like a lot of houses like immediately like they share walls with it, right?
Yeah.
Like a townhouse type situation.
Yeah.
And like some of those takes in the background, which a lot of them didn't even make it, are like really freaking loud. And so we're just like, his wife is downstairs working and he has neighbors close by, and I'm in his room like, ah!
just a Daniel Sherman recording session, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Which you wouldn't expect for a record that sounds so mellow.
Yeah.
A lot of those takes were really freaking loud. And so we just had fun with it. Like, I think we were there for probably 4 hours and just, you know, drinking whiskey and making loud noises. And
so
that's pretty much the best you can have in life, you know?
Definitely. Sure. So you said like you had too much time at the studio. Did you record this in one day, or was it like?
Yeah.
So you wrote everything in an hour, and then you recorded everything in 4 hours?
It was a long studio day. The recording was probably 6 hours.
6 hours. So 7 hours total for the entire EP.
Well, then 4 hours for vocals.
4 hours. Okay.
So less than a day it took you in total.
Still. Yeah.
You never cease to amaze me. I just want you to know that. Every single time we talk to you, you fucking blow me away with like how fast you do this shit.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. I think it helps too. A lot of artists, they hit writer's block. And when writer's block happens, it's because you feel the need to create something. And you're like trying to force an emotion so you can capture something and release it to keep content flowing and stuff like that. Like I kind of just I don't write unless I'm either doing really bad or really well. Like if there's something I need out of my insides and outside, then I'll do it. But if not, like I'm just not going to chase it. And I found that maybe it's good or maybe it's bad. I live a life that makes me really emotional all the time. So it kind of just works out. Like I'm just sad. And so I make music a lot.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So for these last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
So okay with me. These are the best parts of our interviews, guys.
They really are. So if you could become one animal for the rest of your life, which animal would you be and
Moose.
Why? Moose?
Okay. Listen to this.
Okay.
You know, like knights and stuff, like medieval dudes.
Oh,
You know how they go into battle on a horse? I want you to picture right now, you're an enemy soldier in medieval times.
Okay.
You got your sword strapped up. You're like Post Malone in the Circles music video. Like you got your sword strapped up. You're ready, right? And you're like, all right, here comes these horse dudes. But you see like one of the horses is like bigger and then kind of sits taller.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're speared by a moose antlers.
Wow.
And there's just like dudes like massive. Have you seen how big a moose is? It's like the size of a bomb band.
Yeah, they're
like,
very tall.
So I'm just saying moose are like intimidating as frick animals. I've always had this opinion. And then I saw the third Hobbit movie, horrible movie. But there's a scene where this elf dude rides in on a moose and spears like 6 people.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is everything I've ever
You didn't like that movie?
I didn't. Dude, it was just like the CGI was so whack and it was so
That's the fun part.
unnecessary. I don't know.
That's fair. So you want to be a medieval moose?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to ride into battle with a knight on my back and I want to spear some people with my antlers.
We'll take it.
Fair enough. All
All
right.
right.
So if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist dead or alive, who would it be and why? I think I know your answer for this one.
Me too.
Kendrick Lamar.
I was gonna go with Mike Shinoda, but all right.
Oh,
I was gonna go
Wow.
for the other Linkin Park guy.
oh,
the-
Chester.
Chester.
Oh,
I
you
was
said
I was
that
thinking
one, didn't
Chester.
you? Oh, dude, that's so hard.
We just
Okay,
made it
question:
harder.
Does it have to be a music artist, or can
No.
it be
A celebrity or artist. It's either or.
Okay, I'm actually gonna switch up. Kendrick Lamar, honorable mention,
Mm-hmm.
but
Love him.
Christopher Nolan.
Oh.
Dude, I'm like reading. Do I have it next to me? I think it's right here. Oh, I'm reading all of his screenplays. So this is
Oh.
like Dark Knight trilogy.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm obsessed with that guy's mind. Like,
Yeah,
if I
he's
could
crazy.
steal his brain and put it inside my brain, I would do it in a heartbeat. We like both have the same obsession with time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that dude just blows my mind. He's like so philosophical and so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just obsessed with him. So probably him.
Nice.
That's a really good pick. One of my old friends used to be like obsessed with him too. So everything you said, I was like, that's a very good pick because
Mhm.
he's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick. So for this last question, boom, you're on a deserted island. You can bring one album, one person, and one movie. Who and what are you bringing?
Okay.
Mhm.
I got this. One album, To Pimp a Butterfly, Kendrick Lamar.
Ah,
easy.
yeah.
One person.
Kendrick Lamar.
Like he wouldn't want to listen to his own album with me, though, you know? Like that'd be awkward. Like, hey Kendrick, can we bump this record from like a decade ago that you're probably over? I don't think he'd like it.
I don't think he would
I wouldn't like
either.
that if someone was like, hey, you want to come listen to Crown and Change demos on this island with me? I'd be like, dude, like I can't even stand to listen to anything older than a year from myself.
Oh my God.
Person. See, I would say Christopher Nolan again, but I feel like he'd be like good, really deep conversation for 45 minutes. And then I'd be like, I need you to leave because my brain.
Yeah, you get yeah.
I'm going to just go far left out there. I'm going to say Ryan Reynolds. I feel like there's no more entertaining person to be on an island with.
Mm-mm.
And then one movie.
Mm-hmm.
See, the question now isn't even what movie do I want to watch, but it's what movie do I want to watch with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Yeah.
And guys, what movie can I ask you? Can I phone a friend? What movie would you want to watch with Ryan Reynolds?
With Ryan Reynolds, I don't know. I kind of want to watch Deadpool 2 with him. I know he was like in it, but he loves that movie so much and he quotes it every day, like every interview that I've seen him in. So it's like I feel like hearing like the behind the scenes and just quoting stuff with it as it's happening would be so much fun with him.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Shane, any thoughts?
No thoughts from me. Head empty.
You have no like dream Ryan Reynolds watch party movie?
No, not a big movie guy. I'm gonna be honest.
Are you a
Really?
big Ryan Reynolds guy?
No.
Oh, that's
What do you do if you don't watch movies? You watch TV at all? Like shows?
No. I sit here most of the day. I prefer to listen to
Yeah.
music. You
I
know?
mean, that checks out with
Yeah.
how much you guys work. So,
Yeah.
you know, okay. I think I would pick something like really obscure and weird.
Mhm.
Like, I'd pick like that new Nick Cage movie, The Unbearable Weight of Talent or whatever.
oh,
I'd pick,
oh,
like,
mhm,
Us,
mhm,
like that weird movie where the dude becomes a walrus. 'Cause I
mhm.
feel like Ryan Reynolds' commentary on those movies would make them so much better, you know?
Yeah,
Fair enough. All
very
right.
good pick.
So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Your mom. Shout out.
Hell yeah.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Oh, well, thank you for now. This has been Daniel Sherman, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.